Hi, I'm Jana, and this is a real mom car tour of a brand new car, a brand new Cadillac actually. This is the 2026 Cadillac VISTIQ. It's an EV, 3-row SUV, and it is luxury. So in this quick tour, I'm gonna take you all around the outside, the inside, and we're taking this baby for a spin. I'm gonna tell you what I liked and what you need to know. So buckle up and let's do it. This is where I normally say under the hood, but there's nothing under this hood. Really, because there's no front trunk. Because this is an SUV, all your storage is going to be in the cargo, and there is a subfloor, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a dual electric motor that's going to have 305 miles of range and get up to 500 horsepower when you use Velocity Max mode, which is not something you would do every day, but when you need a quick burst of speed, you've got it. If this looks familiar to you, it's because it's kind of a baby Escalade. If you notice, the front end is almost identical to the Escalade IQ. That's just a bigger car and it's a more expensive car. So if you love the design and you really want a Cadillac and an EV, but you don't have $125,000 plus to spend, this starts at $77,000 and you still get the same really beautiful design language. You have the signature Cadillac grille with all of these lines. You have the animated LED lights, and check this out. It carries through on the design just like it does with the optic and with the lyric. I just think it's a really nice design cue. And so I'm just gonna call this baby Escalade, and I think you should too. Some of the cool things about it, like I said, the welcome lighting, you also have lights in your door handles, so they pop out to greet you, and at night you can see that these light up. You get 305 miles of range on a full charge. And if you go to a DC fast charger, you can get 80 miles of range in just 10 minutes. And if you want to have access to the Tesla supercharging network, you can buy an adapter piece from GM and it's just $225. But let's be serious, most of us don't drive more than 30 miles a day, so you're charging this baby in your garage. Today I'm in the premium luxury trim level, and you can tell it really is. There's so many beautiful features. You do have this upgraded 23 speaker. It's a Harman AKG sound system, and you have speakers in your headrest for the front seats. And I think the interior is really beautiful. Every VISTIQ has this 33-inch pano display. You see your head-up display, and I will try to show you that augmented reality display, but that's when you're in motion. This is customizable, so you don't have to have both maps here. You can look at your energy. You can do your driver assistance there. And this has night vision, which it's not night, so it's probably not going to work. But really helpful, especially if you live in an area that may have wildlife. I think it's really cool. Unavailable, obviously, like I said, it's during the day, but it's there. I've made no secret that I love Super Cruise hands-free driving. I'm really excited because there's been an update, and it's when you're using the adaptive cruise control, it's more intelligent. So here's an example. If you're on a highway and you're super cruising and it's 55 miles an hour, and then you merge, or things change and all of a sudden it's 70, your VISTIQ will get you up to that proper speed limit. Now if you're like me and I like to go 5 over, if I'm in a 55 zone, I'm probably going 60. If I'm in a 70 zone, I'm probably going 75. You can put that in your center stack in your settings to say, keep me 5 over. Or maybe 2 under, whatever your thing is. But it's really intelligent, and it works together. Not only the Super Cruise, the adaptive cruise control, how that keeps you in your lane. It'll speed you up, slow you down. You go hands-free, feet-free, and it works when you're trailering. So it's a really smart system, and it's easy to use. You don't need to be a rocket science to get this thing figured out. New technology in the VISTIQ that pairs with Super Cruise is an augmented reality head-up display. And this is my first time driving a car with that augmented reality. So you have a near plane and a far plane. And your near plane, what's closer to you, is what you would normally see in a head-up display. Those directions, your miles per hour, that sort of thing. The far plane is projected in your line of vision about 10 meters out in front of you, and it is predictive, like if it can tell a car is about to change lanes or if you need to change lanes, and it'll put arrows out in front of you. It takes a minute to get used to. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. But I'm giving it a go just because it's such a new thing. A lot of times it takes me a minute to get used to. We are going to find a Super Cruise map road. I will tell you, the VISTIQ is standard all-wheel drive, and you have 22-inch wheels standard with the option to get 23s depending on your trim level. You do have adaptive air ride suspension, which makes this so signature Cadillac. You feel like you're floating on a cloud. As tested, this particular one that you're seeing with the blue interior, I've been in 3 different cars. So this one is the premium luxury trim level, and this clocks in at about 91,800. So let's call it 92,000, which gets you kind of close to Escalade territory. So my question is, I'm calling this the baby Escalade. I think Cadillac's calling this the baby Escalade. I haven't checked those numbers recently, but my impression is it's going to be about 125-ish as an entry. So if you're that close, I guess it's not that close, 91 versus 120, that's a big difference. But are you paying 91 for a luxury 3-row family hauler? Let me know in the comments. This has a lot of get up and go, especially when you're in Velocity Max mode, and because of traffic, this is not the best time to do Velocity Max, but I will show you that when I have an opening. It's this red V on the steering wheel. You touch this, and that's when you get that extra burst of horsepower to make maneuvers, whether it's to pass or if you're about to miss an exit and you need to get over quickly. That's a great use of Velocity Max. So I want to see if I can get Super Cruise engaged. Okay. See how this is green? We are fully engaged. You can see the little Super Cruise symbol here and here. It's set at 75 and it's centering me in my lane. So my feet are off the pedals, my hands are off the steering wheel, and we're super cruising. Like any good family car, you have options. You have the option to get a bench seat or captain's chairs. And I want to show you this. I'm trying to be careful because I'm in the muddiest spot and I don't want to get this thing filthy. But I do want you to see how great these seats are. So there's a lever on the side here because they do recline. These seats are on rails, so you can move them up and back depending on who needs more legroom. They do recline, and the best part, watch this. We have a button here that is a power car seat tilt. So it helps you have easier access in and out of the 3rd row. And while I'm back here, I do want to show you what the legroom looks like. This is a dedicated 2-row back seat, very similar to the Lexus TX, which is not an EV, but is very comparable in size. So you have 2 head restraints and 2 seat belts. You also have a cup holder on each side. Your vents are on the side here. And other than that, it's pretty standard back here. You do have, kind of like the Rivian R1S, this extra piece of glass up top, which I like. I just think it adds something to it because you have that full panel roof that does open. It's not fixed glass. And then the 3rd row passengers still have that. I'm 5'7", and my knees are not all the way in the seat. You can see on this track, it could come back another 4 inches, which my knees would be in the seat, but it really depends on who you're giving legroom to. And of course, if you have captain's chairs, I'm always gonna poke my legs out through this center aisle. Your kids can also exit the vehicle through that center aisle, or there is a button on the back of the seat so they can pop it open and jump out, which makes carpool a lot easier.
So today we're going for a drive with my friend Jana. She has Real Mom Car Tours is her handle. Go follow her on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
All the things.
All the things. First off, what do you think of this vehicle so far?
I like it. This is the size vehicle I would get because I don't need a huge Escalade, but I do need 3 rows. Not an everyday 3rd row. So I feel like this is a good size for me and I like it.
All right, I do too. Now let's go ahead and drive it because
Let's go.
that makes all the difference, right?
So go out and take a right.
All right, Jana with the directions. Already I can tell you just getting in this, I love that it's a keyless start. That's a win. And also I have the regen on high and I love a strong regen.
I hate a strong regen.
So it depends what you're coming from.
Yeah, it does.
So I drive electric every day. I've been driving electric for around a decade, which is crazy. It makes me sound really old. So for me, I'm used to it, especially with this nice grille on here because it's not really, I mean, this is not the vehicle you would buy for off-roading.
Absolutely not.
No, this one is meant to be kept clean. It is kind of like that Escalade IQ look for less.
Yeah.
Which it still is a good price, but it starts at like just shy of 78,000.
Yeah, and as tested, the one we're in right now is 92.
Okay.
So that's a leap.
It is a leap.
The luxury doesn't stop for the 2nd row. You can see that your panel roof comes all the way back. You have these quilted heated synthetic leather seats that are really comfortable. The bolstering, everything about it is really comfortable. Everybody can control their own climate, which I really appreciate. So this person can be at a different temperature than this person, which can be at a different temperature than those people in the front. You have an 8-inch touchscreen right here, and you can also use that to control the climate for the third row. Your vents, you have one on each column pointing in the second row and one on the back of the console. Plenty of places to charge back here. You have 2 USB-Cs and a traditional household plug and 2 little hidden cup holders there with a little place for storage. Your other option for cup or bottle holders would be in each door. I want to give you a quick look of the cargo room back here. I've got my backpack, which is always with me when I'm doing this filming. It's huge. This isn't the best display because, you know, I usually like to put luggage and that sort of thing, but I do want to show you that you can lay the third row down with the touch of a button, and you can also lay the second row. So I'm gonna bring you in and show you that closer. And you can lay the second row down. It's that easy. Let me show you this subfloor while I've got you right here. Obviously your charging stuff would go in here, but that's a lot of room. I can fit my whole backpack in here, and we're gonna do that just so I can prove it to you. And it still closes. So if you had a double stroller or you needed more clearance, you can open this and put something in vertically, you know, does that make sense? You can put the third row back up from these buttons here, and to get the second row seats back up, I'm just gonna pull that handle and put these up manually. So what do you think of the new Cadillac VISTIQ? I've really enjoyed my time with it, and I would definitely buy one of these if I was in the market for a luxury 3-row EV SUV. Would you buy this over the Rivian R1S or the Kia EV9, which I know is not the same class, it's not luxury, but the range and the space inside are pretty similar? Let me know in the comments. And as usual, if you can handle this brand of chaos, you can find me all over social media. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and at realmomcartours.com. So for me and the VISTIQ, I think that's all I've got. Thanks for watching.